Here are my homemade gardens, raised garden beds I made from wood I bought from Lowe's. Some of the wood I bought from Lowe's, some of it was leftover wood from the previous owners of my house who built the deck onto my house. There was these 4x4s. There was a few of them in the crawl space, so I reused those. I had no other uses for them. The 2x6s, I said I bought from Lowe's. They cut them for me, so I didn't even have to cut anything except the 4x4s, which I had a saw. I can do that. The lag bolts I bought from Lowe's, and the plastic liner I bought from Lowe's. I used the plastic liner because I used treated lumber. I used treated wood. It was just cheaper, and it would last a lot longer for my uses. I could have used cedar or another type of wood that wasn't treated, lasts longer in a wet environment, but it's also a lot more expensive. So I went the least expensive route. But my wife is pregnant, so I lined the inside of the garden with this plastic to prevent any chemicals from leaching into the soil or possibly leaching into the vegetables when we eat them. I just don't want to take that risk. I put this just fence up. I bought a roll at Lowe's also, just to prevent my mischievous dogs from eating my vegetables, because they will. They're just playing. They play fight all the time. But they love to eat sticks and grass and basically anything in the yard that's not tied down they'll eat, like my garden hose. That's why my garden hose is in here. Plus the fence, rabbits, moles, or anything that you might have in your yard. If you don't have dogs, you chase them away. This kind of just adds another barrier away from them. Along with the raised garden beds, it's a little bit better just having it on the ground level also. The dirt I picked up from a excavator in town. They delivered it, a truckload. So that was, the prices vary there. We have tomatoes, peppers, some kind of eggplant, beans in this garden. In this garden, strictly tomatoes. My wife loves tomatoes, and I'm starting to like them more and more. I have a composter made out of recycled 55-gallon plastic food-grade drum. I believe it held olives or something like that before I got it. I bought it off eBay. It came as a kit, and I just put it together. This is another composter I just bought from, also known as a garbage can, but I bought it from Walmart for like $9, and I just drilled holes into the side of it to, speed up the process of breaking down the material I put in there. I put in food scraps, vegetables, fruit from our kitchen, and also any sticks or anything that these dogs rip up in the yard I throw in there. And I mix it around. This I can just roll around or stick a shovel in there and mix it up. This turns on an axis. It spins all the way around to mix up the compost material inside. And once it's done, or in a few weeks usually, I can use the compost inside as fertilizer for my gardens. So provide a nice nutrient-rich, chemical-free fertilizer for my garden beds. And we had leftover plants that wouldn't fit in our gardens, so we are just trying out. We're putting them in large pots on our back porch. Here's some habaneros, jalapenos, and a big pot with a leftover fence I put around it because, like I said, my dogs will destroy it. And over there is some more tomatoes. And over here is more tomatoes. So we're going to be giving a lot of food to our friends and neighbors. I do have plans to make a rain barrel which collects rain water for my roof that runs along the gutters, and I'll go down the downspout and have a barrel right there. My yard does slope a little bit, so the water hopefully, well not hopefully, it will. It's sloped enough to where gravity will take the water from the barrel down to my garden, so I don't have to use water from the house. Just being smart and collecting the free water. That's actually better for the plants anyway. And just trying to be responsible, and the food tastes better when you grow it yourself, I think anyway. These gardens should last years with the treated wood, a few years, so I can get a lot of years use from them. The composters are made out of plastic. They should last, a long time. I might have to replace that frame in a few years, but that's just 4x4s and 2x4s. I can make that pretty easily. And the rain barrel and the composter are made out of, like I said, food grade 55-gallon plastic drums that would normally be thrown away or turned into other products. So it's kind of like recycling. I'm saving them, reusing them, and like I said, they'll last a long time. They'll last as long as I'm alive. I can use them, as long as no tree falls in them or something like that. So it's some time and effort and a little bit of money. You can start a garden, and it should provide food for quite a few years as long as you put some work into it. And here's a shot of my dog playing in his doggy pool. It needs to be water changed because he gets muddy and goes in there and plays, but that water I will reuse in my gardens. I won't just dump it out, and I'll fill it with clean water for him soon. So these are my gardens, my garden project. Hopefully you learned something, and it's not that hard of a project if you want to tackle it. Thank you.